Even during a pandemic, many young people have made their voices heard. And now another chance to make a difference at the ballot box this September.
Hi, my name is Calvin Yang. I'm 19 years old, and the key election issue for me this year is climate change.
It was in this New York City park where Calvin Yang's passion for politics began.
Take me back to 2 years ago in Foley Square. What happened where you are right now?
We organized the largest climate strike in the entire United States of America. We don't have much time left. We have until 2030 to do something fundamental here.
The Canadian teenager was one of tens of thousands of young activists in New York marching to demand global climate action in 2019.
After a climate strike, after seeing the impacts that we had, not just in America and Canada, but across the world, I decided to create an organization and to help out the climate efforts here in Canada.
So he started a Gen Z-led, nonpartisan nonprofit called Canadian Youth Alliance for Climate Action.
This coming election is extremely important because it will set out the course of how this country will tackle the climate crisis for ages to come.
In the last year, their group met virtually with legislators and MPs across the political spectrum. They lobbied for changes to Bill C-12, the Canadian Net Zero Emissions Accountability Act.
That we have our own vision of how to make the world a better place. And I think the best way to express that and to create change, no matter how old you are, is through engaging in politics.
The climate clock in New York City says time to tackle the climate crisis is running out. But Yang and his group are hopeful they can make a difference in this election.
Hi, I'm Ruth Altaya. I'm 24 years old, and my key election issue is economic inequality.
Every day, Ruth Altaya sees the need in her community.
This pandemic has only exposed the cracks within the system that we live in, that we are a part of day to day.
Access to food is just one of a number of big issues here, exacerbated by the pandemic.
2 more boxes of these would be great.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Ruth works for Generation Chosen, a program that serves racialized youth in Toronto's Jane and Finch neighborhood. For the past month, the group has prepared weekly food donations that have helped hundreds of people.
There's a lot of promises being made about helping marginalized communities, affordable housing. There's a lot of promises made about helping the Black community, mental health, and helping small businesses recover from COVID. But I want them to actually make good on those promises.
She'll be paying close attention to party platforms this election. Working in her community, she sees the value in being able to vote.
I vote. And I cast my ballot not just for myself, but I cast my ballot for the people who just migrated to Canada and can't cast their ballot. I cast my ballot for people who are too young to cast their ballots, the high school students and the young people who are passionate about these things like policy. My ballot is more than just for me. It's for every single person that relies on my ballot. And that's why it's super important for me to vote in this election.
I'm Bronwyn Heerspink. I'm 20 years old, and my key election issue is the economy. We know that young people are passionate. We know that young people care about political and social issues. It's just that feeling of, I feel confident enough to step into the ballot box and cast my ballot and feel like I'm making a change.
This election, University of Regina student Bronwyn Heerspink will be busy canvassing and trying to engage youth voters in person and online. Job prospects and the cost of living are top of mind.
As we exit the pandemic, we've seen issues with young people's participation in the economy exacerbated, specifically looking at affordability and work precarity.
She'll be looking for sustainable jobs and party promises.
So a platform that would create green jobs is something that I'm paying attention to, something that addresses the concerns of young people surrounding the environment and climate change, but also surrounding their concerns about, will I be able to afford a home in the future? Will I be able to earn a living wage?
Bronwyn plans to vote on September 20th, as does Ruth and first-time voter Calvin.
For me, this is my first election. For a lot of people, this will be their first election too. And we can really play a pivotal role and shifting the future of this country towards a better place.
Since the last election, an estimated 800,000 Canadians turned 18. They'll be able to cast their ballots, and party leaders are hoping they'll show up. Tashana Reed, CBC News, Toronto.